have in my hand a 2 megapixel NPR camera. It comes with a 100-meter IR and a varifocal lens from 5 to 50 millimeters, and it's hybrid, so it'll support all the major HD technologies, TVI, AHD, CVI, and indeed it's backward compatible to work with an old 960H or semi-HD DVR. So you can see the camera here. This particular version is in black. It's available with free delivery directly from freetv.ie, and I'm going to quickly go over an overview of what we get with it, how we set it up, and give you an example of how we're going to use it here. So it comes in this outer box which we have here. I'm just going to move that quickly out of the way. We have a little pack of tools here. So you have a screwdriver here, which is used for a number of things, including taking the back plate off, which I'll show in a little while. What we have then is we have this power connector here, which we use for feeding power. Normally if we're using it, either a power lead or something like a Cat5 cable running power, normally from a 12 volt 2 amp power unit. Certainly what we're using this experiment here. We have a little kit here that has an Allen key and 4 plugs and 4 screws for mounting it. And what we have here is the same again, but we have a little template here which we use for marking at the wall, and it matches up exactly with, I'll just rotate it around, the 4 holes that we have in the back here. Okay, so if we look at the front here, we have a varifocal lens inside, so it's 5 to 50 millimeters again. We have the IRs on the outside, and also what we have either side here is we have additional IR, and that's what's pushing us out to the 100-meter IR range on it. If we turn and we look at the adjustments that we'd use with the Allen key, this is just for adjusting the stand here. So we've got 3 vectors really where we're able to adjust here, and it just means we can set the camera up exactly at the angle that we want to have it at. And then finally what we'll do is we'll see in the back here, we have a unit here, a cover where we want to get in to what will let us bring up menus and things like that. So what we do is we just use our screwdriver here, we get it started off, and then I can just rotate this by hand. And it takes about 3 full rotations. Don't know if you can see this fully. Maybe you can. I'm just going to rotate it a little bit more, and the covers come off. Okay. And what we'll see inside here, I'll be using these. I'm going to be adjusting them, but it'll be almost impossible to see it, I think. But basically, we have a central unit here, which we use to bring up the menu, and then we have up and down, left and right. Now, by default, this camera will come with AHD as default. Normally, I would say probably the more popular technology at this point is TVI, and simply by pushing the unit on the bottom and pressing it in for 5 seconds, it'll actually flick the technology over to TVI. And I'll show you how to check that on the screen. The interesting thing about this is that there's still advantages to having hybrid cameras here, particularly if you wanted to use this for an older DVR system that you have, something like that. But increasingly what's happening here is that the DVRs in the market, particularly the high watch Hikvision DVRs, are coming with hybrid technology there. So it'll automatically flick and be able to cover all the technologies there. So you just plug in a camera, you don't even need to know what technology it is, it'll work automatically here. It's just slightly cheaper to do with it. But the overall cost impact on a camera like this, in purchase price only $1 or $2 to have something that's hybrid. So what we have here then is we have 2 cables, one is in, one is out. So the one that's in is the power. So I'm just going to grab the power lead here and just, sorry now, got the power in there. I'll just connect that directly. So this comes directly off a local power unit. And what we'll do here is we'll just rotate this around, and I'm going to connect this up here. And the first thing we'll do is I'll just show you, we're going to point at something that's about 10 or 12 meters away. So you see the units there, and if we focus in the window there, you can see the actual droplets of water on the thing. So that's the level, and that's with no real adjustment or effort by me to adjust for where we'll set it up on. So normally we'll say if you use something like this, aiming down a driveway, a corner of a house, covering the yard, something like that, we want to be picking up the NPR, which is the number plate recognition element of it. So if we come along here and we just go and hit the center button here, we bring up the menus here. And if we look down at the bottom here, we'll see the technology is actually THD. So it's the TVI output there, and that's what's set there. The reason for that, of course, is that we actually came along and we excuse me now, just exit out here. What we did is we had set this up and we're experimenting just before the video. So it would be an AHD by default other than that. So overall, I would say very, very good camera. The overall resolution it's offered is fantastic. The price point on it's great. Really what we're seeing is, we've gone through various iterations of this camera over the last number of years. What we're seeing is the price stays the same or goes down slightly, but the technology and what you're getting for your money just goes up and up and up. And what was grainy pictures a few years ago and big money is now absolutely incredibly clear picture, and you know, it really just provides people with the level of detail that they need. You know, 2 megapixels, something like that. That's equivalent to what the high definition channels on TV are being broadcast out at. So it's just really impressive what it's doing. So that's it anyway, an overview of the 2 megapixel NPR number plate recognition camera, 100 meter IR, 5 to 50 millimeter varifocal lens, and available with free delivery directly from freetv.ie.